Evaluate the expression for a equals 3, b equals -7, and c equals -6. And we're given three different expressions to do this for. So let's take a look at this first one. The first problem we're being asked to do a minus c. So remember, when we evaluate, we want to be very careful how we substitute in our values. The first thing we're going to substitute, and then we're going to simplify. So for a, we want a to be 3. And so I'm basically taking this a and I'm isolating it in parentheses, and I'm going to slip the a out, and I'm going to slip the 3 in its place. Now the minus sign that was part of the original problem, we want to be sure to bring down. There's that minus sign. And then c, we're being told, is -6. So we want to be really careful here that the -6 gets its own negative sign, and that the minus sign that was part of the original problem also comes along as well. So a minus c, a is 3, c is -6, so we have 3 minus -6. And now we go ahead and we simplify this expression. Well, we know that when we subtract a negative, that's the same thing as adding the opposite of the negative, so we would have 3 plus 6, and 3 plus 6 gives us 9. So that would be our first problem. And the next problem, we're being asked to do b minus c, so we have to change up our values a little bit. We're still going to isolate our variables here. This time we're putting in b is -7, so -7. Again, watch that minus sign that's part of the original problem. That minus sign is just going to come right on down. And then the c is still -6, so that value hasn't changed. -7 minus -6. Well, when we subtract that negative, remember that means it's just adding the opposite. So -7 plus, the opposite of -6 is +6. -7 plus 6 would give us -1. And then in this last problem, c minus a. So let's be real careful in the order that we're doing things. c minus a. c is still -6. So there's -6. And we're still doing subtraction, so we want to be sure we bring that minus sign down. And a, remember, was 3. It was just plain old 3, +3. So -6 minus 3, -6. Well, subtracting is the same as adding the opposite. The opposite of 3 is -3. -6 plus -3 is -9. Okay. Now, some of you may be getting comfortable enough with subtraction at this point that this problem up here where we saw -6 minus 3, you may be getting to the point now where you know that that idea of adding the opposite would basically be the same as just kind of throwing in a little plus sign here. So -6 plus -3 to give us that -9. So you may be starting to get more and more comfortable of working the subtraction without necessarily going through the add the opposite step. But really be careful. Don't make that adjustment and skipping this step right here until you're really comfortable and really know those rules for sign numbers.